My name is Ralph White, and I am an alcoholic. And I'd like to thank you, Andy, for the kind words and throwing that hint out there. He did pick me up in a Tesla, so you know what I'm saying. Leslie talked to him about that all the way here. I've been given an assignment, and let me get over this thing in the first. You know, I'm not the original person who's supposed to be here this evening. I'm a fill-in. And I think that's appropriate for the assignment I've been given. Jimmy says, Ralph, I need you to talk on a topic for the love of AA. I said, Jimmy, in legal circles, sometimes there's something that's called, if you miss the major premise, everything else that rests on the major premise failed. I said, where do you get this presupposition that this guy has a love of Alcoholics Anonymous? Because if you ask me to go up there and share about it, you're making a big assumption. And I think Jimmy felt safe in giving me that assignment. I think Jimmy felt safe. Big topic. A lot of room inside that topic. And I'm not going to take up any preliminary time because I'm going to tackle it from a couple of angles. For the love of AA. So, first I want to talk about and put any newcomer at ease as to whether or not this dude really does have a love of AA. And if that is the case, why? And the first things first. You saved me. I'm going to talk a lot about our fellowship tonight. That's what that topic really goes to. I'm not going to do a lot of talking. I mean, underneath that and underlying that is the book, the step. You're going to hear about that the rest of the weekend. You know, I'm going to set the table. But the treat is, with all these people that's talking this weekend and giving us a journey through the steps, some of the best communicators in Alcoholics Anonymous, you know. But all of that, and underneath all of that is the reason that they give it their time, the reason I'm going to take a moment to speak on their behalf, because I know pretty much all of them. There's a deep love for Alcoholics Anonymous, and it's got a reason. Last night, my boy Tommy talked, and what we've had already has already given my talk. My talk has already been given. When this man stood up here last night, and he talked about giving away a baby that he's never seen to this day. What kind of man would do that? But he's not the man that was talking to us. The man that gave the baby away was not the man that talked to us about giving the baby away. What kind of program is that? Talk about the love of what? Who wouldn't? You know, Tommy set the tone. Then my sponsor and his wife. The face of Alcoholics Anonymous for me in a lot of places, a lot of times. So Alcoholics Anonymous, for me, not an organization. It is. It's not an organization. It's not a faceless entity. You know, it walks and it talks and it shakes hands. It's got a broad shoulder and it's got a beating heart. You know, it's a man who gets a guy, and I'm not that guy, but my sponsor has the audacity to kiss me on the cheek. And I think it's symbolic. His wife did a lot of talking about that word that I'm tasked to talk to you guys tonight about. She talked a lot about love. Fact, that's our code. That's our code. That's what we do. That's who we are. That's our charge. That's our mandate. Yeah, we got a few. The first one is one drunk sharing with another. But all that to the end of, you know, and we do a lot of talking. I know it's some book people in here and put it down clinically. And I've done enough traveling through this process for enough years that I've moved away from, and trust me, I haven't moved all the way away from it, but it used to be, man, this is a life or death errand I'm on, and I still recognize that. But you know what, you guys, I'm not driven as much by the fear of the life as much as I am for the love of the life. You know what I'm saying? That took a minute. That took a few 24 hours. That took a few falling on my face and landing on my feet. You know, that took a few, but you guys have given me something. You saved me. You saved me. My boy Pete and Marion. If you guys were not here this morning, you missed the treat. I'm what you got, but you really missed my sponsor and his wife and Pete and Marion, and you inspire me. But the first reason to love Alcoholics Anonymous, that this guy, you saved me. I washed up on the shores of Alcoholics Anonymous October 11th, 1986. I was 33 years old. I was a broken young man. I was a scared little boy playing and being a man. I was on a long losing streak like most of us are by the time we get here. I didn't have a key to anybody's house. I didn't know where my little girl was enrolled in school. I didn't know where my family was living. It had been a long time since I had celebrated Christmas, and I thought they stopped having birthday parties. And I'm a guy that's a family guy. I got a strong mom. Me and my brothers are real tight. I'm a guy that came from some success. I'm the Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde guy, and but I suffer from that thing, and I had lost it all. And I came to you guys. I hadn't looked at myself full face in the mirror in about a year, that October of 1986. I weighed about 40 pounds less than I weigh right now. I had not answered anybody's 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock wake-up call to go to work in so long I no longer thought I was employable. And I hit this spot, man. And my sponsor shared it this morning. One of my gifts, whenever he says it, I just pair, because it is. I hadn't realized it. But one of my gifts is I'm built for you guys. I'm made for Alcoholics Anonymous. It has been a safe haven for me since the day I got here. Didn't know what was waiting on me. But I was a guy, when I came to you guys, I just wanted Christmas again. I wanted to see my little girl on her birthday. I wanted to have a key to somebody's house. I wanted a driver's license. And you saved me. The kindness of strangers, my friend Joe C. out of Florida says. And isn't that the truth about us? We take a chance on each other. I see people sitting in here right now. I am so jazzed. I'm going to jump over. I thought I was kind of going to go in some kind of orderly fashion and talk about what this fellowship has done for me. But when I start looking around, I just get moved to say some stuff, and talk about the love alcohol. That's all I felt since I've been here. I've been here several times, I came, and I guess I didn't make a fool out of myself. I didn't pee on myself. I didn't embarrass Jimmy and Mary Beth. And they said, Ralph, come back. So I got a lot of friends in this neck of the woods. And then I met some friends on this Zoom platform, and isn't it, God's got a special place, I think, in his heart for alcoholics, and especially for Alcoholics Anonymous in this particular time. In 2020 and 2021, we were already positioned for what the world was not ready for. We had a worldwide pandemic, and we had a pandemic that did something to the whole world. It forced isolation, and bam, my fellowship was and we exploded. I'm a third step guy. And what does that mean for me? What that means for me is whatever's going on is what's supposed to be going on. I don't trip about what God's will. God's will is whatever's going on. Now, how you gonna handle that, Ralph White? That's why I say I don't know what God's will is for me. His will is for you, man up. Whatever is happening is supposed to be happening. You know, because otherwise I'm thinking I'm supposed to be orchestrating what's happening. You know what I'm saying? You know, so that's real easy for me. So when we hit this pandemic, a couple of weeks, Leslie was already Zooming, and people were asking me, and say, I can't see talking on a computer, man. I'm not feeling that. Then I talked one time, and I realized, spiritual energy is spiritual energy. It don't matter the medium. Spiritual energy is spiritual energy. It can be transmitted no matter what. It's transmitted on the phone. It's transmitted on through letters. It's transmitted face to face. It's transmitted on a Zoom. It's transmitted, and so I just embraced it, man. And one of the things that I've gotten as a result of being a third step guy and stop worrying about, no, it ain't supposed to be like this. I'm the old man, and they get off my lawn. It ain't no. Get with what's going on right now, dude. And so I got with what was going on right now, and I see some people on here. Cynthia had a meeting going on. Was sending them out to me, and it's some people I took a picture with, and there's some people that feel like they're family to me, and I'm just laying eyes on them this weekend. And you talk about feeling the love of Alcoholics Anonymous. Alice came out to the house, and she's from New York, and she came all the way, and she's met my mama and the rest of that. And I just had a chance to hug Sharon and feel, what it said, and it feels like I know them. It feels like, just like I've been hugging you. But I got to tell you guys, all that being said, I miss the energy. I miss you guys. I love being, I'm not going to sit up here and do the false humility. I get scared behind. I'm loving the energy. I'm loving connecting with you guys. I'm loving seeing you guys. I'm loving the hugs. I'm loving the encouragement. I'm loving you. You bring out the best in me. I know that's a song title, I know, and a couple of people have talked about being cheesy up here today, but I really am better with you than I am by myself. You saved me, at a time when I was going down for the last time, at a time when I didn't think it was, and more than that, and I'm going out of order, and you saved my family. You saved my family. For those who don't know my story, I grew up without a dad. He was a drunk, and he got put out when I was 7 or 8 years old. I'm from a big family, 6 boys. All of us were drinking and using together, and we almost killed my mom. The year of 1985, she had a nervous breakdown. My mother was a strong lady, matriarch. Took her boys to church. I had religious education from an early age. Knew right from wrong. But I got that thing, you guys. And it took me. It took me down hard. And it took my brothers. All of us. And we schoolboys. And we used to make my mom proud. Written up in the newspaper. First 3 guys off our block to go to college. My brother graduated from law school when he was very young. One of the youngest black guys that ever, licensed to practice law in the state of California. And me, Ronnie, and Red, we were fireballs, man. But we got that thing. And so in the year of 85, we almost killed my mom. And Grace came calling in 1986. Ronnie went into treatment July of 1986. I came to you guys in October of 1986. Reggie came to you guys in February of 1987. And Rod came to you guys on Christmas Day of 1987. We lost Reggie in 1982. And my family flourished. We came to Alcoholics, and that's what I know. We don't have a monopoly on this thing, but in the White House, we do Alcoholics Anonymous. Those of us who suffer, we do Alcoholics Anonymous, and we do it, we all got a home group, 9604 South Figueroa, and in 1987, me and my brother Ron got interested in this big book, and with a friend of mine, the late Leon Strange, he died a year ago. Almost exactly a year ago. I miss him. I miss him. And you guys had, not only did you save me, you connected me. You connected me with something I didn't know I need to be connected to. You connected me with something I didn't know I was missing. You connected me with something, man, that has been my saving grace. You gave me a power, and I didn't know I needed one. I thought I was one. And you connected me. And in 1987, me and my brother Ron and my boy Strange, we asked my mom if we could open up her house. And around a dining room table in November of 1987, about 12 members of Alcoholics Anonymous opened up a blue book. And we went on a journey. Didn't know where we were going. Young guys, man, trying to put our lives back together. Young guys that were hungry. I've always been a hungry guy. Tommy was talking about more, Bob was talking about if he sat down and it's $2 all you can eat, give me $4. I identify. I'm a more guy. That's why I say I was built for you guys. Because I'm not a spectating guy. I'm not a sit on the sideline guy. So I got in the fellowship, man, and I got busy. You want to talk about the love of Alcoholics Anonymous, the love for Alcoholics Anonymous? It's a couple of things. One of them is the love you guys give to me. That's the love of Alcoholics Anonymous, and you show it unconditionally. I came to you guys 33. I'm broke. I'm staying at my mama's house. I'm 18 months without a job. I'm starting to go through this big book, but I'm hungry, and you guys just took me in. Didn't ask me no questions. Let's go get coffee. Let's go to the steakhouse. Knew I didn't have no money. I would say no. You already knew what that no meant. That no meant I ain't got no money. You said, dude, come on, I got you. And you gave me, and that's what I always love about my fellowship. You guys have never taken my dignity from me, but you helped me anyway. You didn't say, oh man, you can't get in the car. The great phrase in Alcoholics Anonymous, get in the car, That's get in the goddamn car, and I got in the car, man, and I've been in the car, and I'm you guys know I'm an all-in guy. That's why I say I was built for Alcoholics Anonymous, man. I'm better with you than I. You know how you go to meetings and folk be saying he don't walk like he talk, or he don't talk like. No, don't nobody talk like they walk. We talk like we want to walk. We aspire. We aspire. And I aspire. And you bring out the best. You really do bring out the best. No, I walk like I try to. I walk like I walk. But I talk like I talk. And most of the time I talk like I walk. You bring out the best. What I like about you guys, talk about the love of Alcoholics Anonymous. I have a home group. And on Zoom, we had this meeting going on. And I've told this story a couple of times. A girl was on there, and she raised her hand to read chapter 5 of all things. And when in California, we don't just read the 12 steps. We read, rarely have we seen a person fail who is thoroughly followed. We read chapter 5 all the way to A, B's, and C's, right? And this girl raised her hand, and everybody collectively was like, oh, no. Chapter 5 is going to be 20 minutes tonight. I would like to tell you guys it wasn't. It was, it was 20. And I, being me, Ralph in and of itself, Ralph in the state of nature was like, oh man, why would you do that? Why would you call her? And so I'm sitting and agonizing through the reading, and I'm sure everybody else is, but there is something in the collective that's bigger than the individual. You know what I'm saying? That's why I love Alcoholics. And it's something in the collective that's bigger than the individual, because she finished reading, you guys, and she staggered. And there were words, and I'd be trying to say them. Well, you know how people be finally saying them. We let you try it, and we say it, and so I'll be struggling with the word. And finally, but check this out. So she gets to the end. We done blew off a whole big portion of the meeting. She gets to the end, and she's fairly new. And this was Zoom. So it was not in person, but it seemed like if it had been in person, it would have been a standing ovation. I don't know what made the host unmute everybody, and everybody cheered, because that's what we do. That's what we do with our broken. That's what we do with the ones that's trying. That's what we do with our damage, because she wants this real bad. She wants it real bad. And individually, everybody in there was probably like me. But collectively, standing ovation. And I got proud of my fellowship. because you might make me better than I am by myself. By myself, yeah, I'm an inventory taker. By myself, I'm judging. By myself, I'm controlling. By myself, I'm doing all that. Me and Leslie be sitting in meetings, and and she be trying to run it from her chair. You know, I'm telling on her now. And then I'll be trying to run it from my chair, and we just nudge each other. Ain't your me? She says, ain't my monkey, ain't my circus. You know, and I'll be like, better than I am by myself. You saved me. You connected me. You know, I started going through this big book, Alcoholics Anonymous, man, with a group of people. And I had an eye-opening experience. I grew up religious. Overdose of religious education. My mama walked her boys up the street to church every Sunday morning. I would get to church, I would sit on a pew, and we got a lot of Catholics because we were at dinner and a bunch of people. And I only know the Catholic experience for when I go to funerals with some people in AA, right? So I learned it since I've been sober, and I know it's a pretty sedate experience. It's really solemn and it's really overwhelming, you know. And I really sometimes feel the majesty. It's a majestic experience, right? I grew up in a Baptist church. That's a whole different thing. It's a high energy experience. It's a passion field. And at a certain point in the proceedings, something apparently runs through the church, never ran through Ralph, called the Holy Ghost or the Holy Spirit. And people are moved to jump up and talk about that, right? And I would be 8 years old sitting on the pew with my mama looking at her out the side of you better not jump up in here and embarrass me. And embarrass me. Now, she putting food on the table. My mama's a welfare mom. My mama is working 2 jobs, cleaning houses for folk. This is before she went back to college. My mother ended up being a professional and a hell of a lady. But when we were kids growing up in Watts, she was on welfare, doing the best she could. And she got a self-centered young knucklehead like me sitting on the pew. You better not, embarrass me up in it, right? I've been self-centered all my life. So when I'm sitting in church, man, it seemed like stories. It seemed like myths. It seemed like fables. It seemed like tales. It seemed like, miss me with it. And interestingly enough, I've come to the conclusion that that's what they are. They are. So how else do you talk about spiritual experience? You talk about it in stories. A lot of times from the pulpit they point, but the spiritual experiences, man, I'm young though. I'm young. I don't know that not everything is supposed to be literal. I don't know that when they talk about Daniel and the lion's den and being scared. No, what the story is, Ralph, don't trip off the literal, trip off if you in a tight spot, there's a power that can get you. I don't know that. Part the Red Sea, folk walk through it. Oh, man, they miss me with that. I don't know that if you don't see no way out, there's a power that's a way out for you. I don't see that. And the ministers, when I'm growing up, they talking literal. So I'm a smart guy, and I think I'm smarter than them, because I got to tell you, I grew up in Watson. Like I say, some of these cats are coming in, they can't speak the King's English. I'm 9 years old, correcting them. Ain't no word like no aura. What are you talking about? Man, and that's... Ooh, so I'm like that all the time. So I come in, man, religion is for weak people. Religion is for people who don't have direction. I'm coming up in the 60s. Religion is an opiate of the people. I'd rather smoke mine. Thank you very much. Miss me with that. You trying to control and direct me. I'm coming up. I've come from that place, man. And I come from that. It's fables. It's myths. So when I hit you guys under the lash of alcoholism, right? I'm beaten to a state of reasonableness, but I'm still kind of, I come to you, I'm the skeptic, I'm the scoffer, I'm the cynic. You gave me a name, call me the agnostic, and you took me to a chapter, and I was open-minded because that behind was whoop, right? So I'm up in there, and you gave me something I didn't even know I needed. You connected me with a power I didn't know I was missing. I got on my knees, and you guys directed me to that. And you didn't overburden me. You didn't overwhelm me. And at that time, I come through the portal like most young people do. When you grab hold of the book, I'm like Christopher Columbus. When I discover something, I'm the first one to discover it. So, I'm reading the book, and they ain't reading it right. And people in Bob's generation of AA, they been in AA since the 60s. Because I'm in 1980. 86, this is 1987 now, circa 1987, 88. So it's old timers from the 60s and the George, and they weren't always reading the book, they were living it, but I'm not seeing that because I'm a youngster. And youth is wasted on the young, in AA too. So I'm throwing out the familiar stuff. It ain't the quantity of sobriety, it's the quality. And there's a lot of truth in that, but youngsters, it's a whole lot to be said for living experiences. And I'm the kind of guy that I always cling to what I got. So, of course, if I don't have quantity, I'm going to stress quality. I ain't got quality either, but it's a nice thing to say. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing about that. It ain't like I got quality, but I know that's the weapon in this fight, right? Because all I got is new information, but I'm on fire. And you guys give me the dignity, and and in fact, you get happy about it. You don't even trip. You let us say stuff like that. And you say, keep coming back. Now I know them old timers was kind of just sitting up in there and just kind of nodding and smiling. Oh, he found the book. He finally found the book. I'd be sitting out in the audience like people do, he up in there. He ain't quoting the book right. He killing newcomers. He killing newcomers. Now, he kept the door open for me, mind you. I've been in the book like 6 weeks now. He's killing newcomers. I'm the Messiah, right? And you give me my dignity. And you let me stay on fire. And you don't extinguish the fire. And I grow. So you saved me. You connected me. I started with, and you gave me my family back, you guys. In February of 87, Reggie came. I remember Christmas Day in 1987. My brother Rod, my baby brother. Do you ever have people, and this ain't going to hit everybody, but it might be some people. Do you have anybody that's close to you or a loved one or a family member that you just think to yourself, they voluntarily place themselves beyond God's aid? I know I'm in the program. I know I believe in the program. I know I believe in the program for everybody else, strangers, not my brother. He can't get this. He can't. When Reggie relapsed in 92 and didn't make it back until 2017, he can't come back. He's too heartbreaking. I closed my mind to the power of the power. It hurts too much to hope. It hurts too much to get let down. And it just looks like, when in one of the forewords when it says many do not comprehend that the alcoholic is a very sick person, well, guess what? One of the people who don't comprehend the alcoholic is a very sick person is this alcoholic. When it comes to my loved ones. They're not sick. They voluntarily doing this. They're not sick. They making a choice. They know about AA. Reggie making a choice to stay out there. Rod is making a choice. Me, Ronnie, and Reggie were schoolboys, high achievers, student body president. My baby brother Rod was hustler, pretty boy, dope dealer, bad boy. We don't have bad boys in my family, but Rod, the baby, he was all that, And so when Rod came, he did time. He did a year. I had to act like I didn't have a brother because my character defect, man, I can't feel like that. I'm overly sensitive. I imagine my brother locked up, and a lot of you guys been locked up. I'm not a locked up guy. I got sentenced 8 days one time. I said, give me the 8 days because I don't have the money. And I was in there one day and called, get John Sandals down here right now. I can't. So I'm from a tough town, you guys, but I'm not a tough guy. I'm not a tough guy at all. And my brother Rob was locked up, man, and I would think about it. And so I pretended I didn't have a brother. And November of 1987, he was in the Harbor Light Center where I got sober through a series of misadventures, and I had paid him to go to a meeting one time. I paid him $5. He came to me for some money, right? You know how we do. And I said, I'll give you some money if you go to this meeting. And I know enough about working with others in the 12-step that I knew I couldn't 12-step him. So I took him to a meeting, and there was a guy in the meeting in my home group that reminded me of my baby brother. And I turned him over to him. And he talked Rod into going into the Harbor Light. So Rod was in the Harbor Light, and he calls home one night. Me and Ronnie were staying at my mama's house. And Rod calls home. And he says, man, can I come stay at the house? Why you need to stay at the house? You got somewhere you stay, and you in the program. No, I left. Oh, you left somewhere you were staying, and now you can't come here. And I hung up the phone. My mother put him on the phone because by now me and Ronnie are the specialists in handling these calls, right? She don't deal with her. She not dealing with it. I hung up the phone. This is 1987, you guys. I cried when I hung up the phone because my brother was on Skid Row. We don't stay on the street. It wasn't no Star 69 then. It wasn't cell phones. He had called the house phone. I didn't know how to get back in touch with him after I hung up. And I cried. And I called my boy Leon Strange. I've always, since I got with you guys, you who I have, you who I know. And he told me, Ralph, you did the right thing. I said, I need to get in the car and go look for him. He said, no, dude, be still. That was November. It was cold that November in 1987. It gets cold sometime in L.A. Sometimes they open up shelters at night. Cold for us, not for you guys. You know. So it was in the 40s. And see, don't make me write about you. You know. I heard somebody thinking, wimp. Don't make me write about you. You know. And on Christmas Eve, Rod called again. He said, man, can I come home for Christmas? I was 1. Ronnie was 1. Reggie was about 8 or 9 months. He said, can I come home? I just want to come home for Christmas. And he came home that Christmas in 1987, and I turned him over to you guys. And this Christmas of 2021, my baby brother Rod, because of you guys, be celebrating 34 years of sobriety. Because of you guys. Because of you. I know we got, and trust me, I'm not at all discounting, because my talk tonight is not going to talk about the power of the power, because I'm talking about the power of the power expressed through my fellowship. You do remarkable work. You do good work. Talk about the love of Alcoholics Anonymous. I was embarrassed. I forget. I've been with you guys a long time now. I've been with you 35 years. Sometimes I forget my thought process when I came. Check this out. As much as I wanted Rod to come, because I didn't know about us, I didn't know how we operate. I was embarrassed that this many white boys would have to come in here. It took me a while to realize, like you guys do, and you tell us, how awesome that is. I've never shared that out loud. You know, I was like, damn, Reggie got to come too? Damn, Rod, how does that look? I'm serious. I'm serious. I didn't want my baby brother to come up in here for a minute because of how it was going to look, how it was going to make me look. That's the other thing I like about you guys and what I love about the love of Alcoholics Anonymous. You know me. You see me. And for me, you may not understand the import of that statement unless you know who this is. I'm the guy who's still biggest defect. I say it's the biggest prison I've ever lived in, and that's what I think you think about me. It has been a driving force. It has been the chief activator. When you talk about a character, that fear right there, or what I think, and the other fear that's really underneath that is if you really know me, you ain't gonna like me. So when I came to you guys, it was driving force. Check out what you do. You go to meetings. You stand up in front of the group. You say some crazy stuff like Tommy said, like, I gave away a baby. To this day, I'll know it. He said that from a podium, and they clapped for him. In the 7th step, you guys, when we talk about the 7th-step prayer, and we talk about remove every single defective character to stand in the way of my usefulness, it's going to take a minute to really understand the full import. A lot of people understand it. I believe 7th step is evolutionary more than anything else. You know, I could start tackling amends pretty quickly. The impact kind of grows, but I can start doing that. I can start doing inventory and get caught up in thinking that's supposed to be mastered. Yeah, right. Because I like writing. You know, so some stuff, you guys, is pat on the back time for Ralph. You know, I like writing. Now I do that. That coming. You know, but so what? For those of you who don't like writing, for those of you who are scared of writing, for those of you who feel like, damn, yeah, that's in my wheelhouse, but that is just the thing. Don't you know that's why I got suspended from school? Because I can't write, and instead of telling people I can't, I say I don't, and I say I won't, and it's fear, but I mask it with defiance, and they say, get up out of here. And now I come up in these rooms, and the same thing that's been dominating me, I got to face it again. Check this out. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. You know, you gonna hear, you saw Tom, you saw Pete, you hear Marion, you see Bob and Linda, you hear Ralph, you're gonna hear Steve, you're gonna hear all these speakers. And the thing about it is, as much as it's going to be inspirational, for somebody it's going to be intimidating too, because you're going to get confused and think you got to be able to talk about this thing to live this thing. No, you don't. I'm talking. It's a living program. And the people that I get inspired by the most, man, are not the ones that this is in their wheelhouse. I get inspired by my baby brother, Rod. Ronnie and Reggie, I get inspired by them. But Rod, oh my God. Because Rod runs from the pen. He don't come up here and do this. Rod is one that swims in Alcoholics Anonymous. He swims in it. I'm so grateful to you guys for my baby brother. You know, I'm not knocking, you know, the things that we do in this 12-step process, but I'm sharing some stuff that I know about spiritual life. I'm sharing some stuff that I know about grace, that I know about my fellowship, that's bigger than, you know, it ain't the dent of my personality and the fact that I'm perceptive and I can talk people. No. It's available. It's doable. So that 7th step, you guys, I was talking about it. Tommy, you shared a couple, right? So you gave me permission to, you know, I had something in my eye a minute ago. Tommy, a tough guy. That's what I was saying. So tough guys get to do it. You make it easy. I had a dude in my home group, you guys. That's why I say you know me. You know me. Check out character defects. This dude was Dennis L. Dennis Love, about 6'6", big black guy. Came from the pen. Hard guy, looked like. And Dennis would say from the podium, I was about a year sober. Not even a year. I was in my months. And I heard him share one night, and he said, I could have your woman and your man. And I said, wait, I know I must have misheard that. I said, I know I misheard that. And the beauty of being in the fellowship, because he's one of my best friends, now that's his signature. And he freed me. He freed me. I didn't know he was freeing me from my fifth step. I didn't know I had gotten accustomed to this self-disclosure you guys do. I don't know I had got accustomed to undressing. I didn't know I was getting accustomed to transparency. I didn't know I was getting accustomed to you guys, because you guys make a person feel better when they do that. You know, I had a girl that told me, Ralph, when you think you're looking bad, that's when you're looking good in Alcoholics Anonymous. And that played right into my defects, man. You know, you mean they'll clap when you get up here and tell the truth on yourself? I like clapping. I'm going to tell the truth on myself. And I started to... Without me knowing it. Without me knowing it. You know me. And you changed me. I was going to say you changed me. You changed me. You continue to change me. You know, and you've transformed me. I'm not the same guy. You know, I got to, when they talk about the love of Alcoholics Anonymous, I was in the bed last night thinking about it. And I had a dream. I had a dream. I was talking to Leslie about I can't do the talk. I can't do the talk. I'm too choked up. In the dream, I can't do this talk. I see faces. I can't do this talk. Because I think about it. If it weren't for Alcoholics Anonymous, the world would not even know River White. I got a 26-year-old daughter who's never seen her daddy loaded, and one day at a time she never will. In our chapter, Vision for You. I'm going to act like that was a pregnant pause. You did that. Me and my sponsor, I did a fifth step with Bob at the break, and we started sharing about memory lapse. I said, Bob, if I stop on a thought, he said, all right, don't worry about it. I do that too. So now I'm sitting up here, and I'm like, Vision for You. Yeah, that's the one. 68, you guys. In a chapter, Vision for You, it talks about great events will come to pass for you and countless others. And I've had a lot of great events in my life, you guys, as a result of coming and being with you guys. I've stood in the delivery room when that 26-year-old daughter was hitting this earth. When my oldest daughter was born, when Rain was born, she's 38 years old. I'm 35 years sober. When she was born, we had a false alarm one time. We were up at the hospital. I was present at the hospital, but I was in the bathroom. Thank God they sent us home that time. Rain didn't come. I wouldn't have been present. Called us back the second time. I get a makeover, do-over, mulligan. Get a chance to do it right a couple of weeks later. This time I'm not in the bathroom. I'm not even at the hospital. I'm the kind of alcoholic sees everything as opportunity. When my granddaddy died in 1985, and he was my guy. My granddad was my guy. 84. I was working at this law firm. They heard about my grandfather passing, for real this time. And, how many granddaddies you got? Well, you know, you count the step granddaddy. But my granddaddy passed, and they took a collection for my family. And of course, I said, my family needs help. We didn't. And they didn't know anybody else from my family to take this collection. My family needs help, so you guys are collecting for flowers, but in lieu of flowers, we'll take the donation. Well, who do they know to take the donation? Me, I'm the employee, right? So they give me the money. I, at that time, had a religious bent, and of course I said, "Ooh, this is a gift from God." Called my brother Ronnie, and we missed Granddaddy's funeral. Fast forward, back up, 1983, when Rain was born. Opportunity. Mary's going in the hospital to deliver the baby. Me and Ronnie have this house to ourselves for a couple of days. I'm going to time it right. We're going to do what we do, and then I'm going to make it up to the hospital on time. In this gathering, I don't even have to say anything about how that plan worked. Didn't make it to the hospital. Because everything is an opportunity for a guy like Ralph. This is how you guys transform me. Now let's get to 1995, January 27. I'm in the delivery room. I hold my baby. And I cannot imagine the world without River White in it. And that's as a result of being a participating all-in member of Alcoholics Anonymous every day and every night. Hard times, good times. Don't let the life that AA gave you get in the way of your AA life. I've been a member no matter what. When I had money, when I had a good job, when I started a career, when I got a new wife, when I got a new family. I'm not one that's going to be like, I got to chase these dollars. One of my saving graces, I've never left you guys. I have a default position that helps me do that. I keep commitments in meetings. I always have sponsored. I have not always been sponsored. I went a couple of years unsponsored out of misguided loyalty to my first sponsor. Hadn't talked to him in 2 years. He had moved away. Then he left AA, and I refused to dishonor Bob Hunt by getting would not get another sponsor, And so but thank God for the love of Alcoholics Anonymous. Thank God for mentors. Thank God for closed mouth friends. Thank God for commitments, and thank God for sponsees. And I'm here to tell you, and thank God for God, and thank God for grace. And I started going to these meetings. You guys, you don't know what you do. You inspire me. You inspire me. If it's anything I am, I've been here 35 years. Doesn't qualify me as an expert. Doesn't qualify me as authority on Alcoholics Anonymous. Doesn't qualify me as a spokesperson for Alcoholics Anonymous. But it qualifies me to do one thing. I'm an expert witness. I can give a testimony. If called upon to testify, I could and would competently state the following. That's straight out of, and it's done something for me, man, that I thought would be impossible. I thought I wouldn't be able to put it down. So here's the other piece, you guys, about the love of Alcoholics Anonymous and why. And I'm already getting ready to go over, so I'm going to wrap this up. And the love of Alcoholics Anonymous and the love for Alcoholics Anonymous and what I'll do for Alcoholics Anonymous. And the last nail in the coffin, my mama. My mom. I'm a daddy. I'm a mama's boy. My mother lives with me. Some things happen, and I've been through Alcoholics Anonymous through all my ups and all my downs. I've been through 3 major valleys in Alcoholics Anonymous. I've gone broke in this fellowship. I lost my house in front of everybody. I was 22 years sober. I lost my marriage. I lost a 20-year relationship. I lost all my money, lost everything. I thought I lost everything. I was going out, still talking in Alcoholics Anonymous, still enthusiastic about Alcoholics Anonymous. I go to places and would not be able to leave a card at the front, and the chair people at the conference would give me the dignity. I said, we got you. I didn't think anybody would want to hear from me. I come from, I don't know nothing about something for nothing. Quid pro quo. You got something, you need something. That's all I know, tit for tat. It took me a long time to get used to the kindness of strangers that we have in here and the way that we practice it. Man, I'm telling you, I'm a guy and I'm a book guy. And I don't put a label on me. I'm a this guy, I'm a that guy. I'm an all-in guy. And the reason why I don't ever I don't limit myself, because I never know what my help is going to be. I went about 2 or 3 years on the Fellowship of Alcoholics Anonymous. There were times I had to choose between going to a meeting, going to a meeting or going on a job interview. Didn't have gas. I went a year parking my car in different places because I didn't have tags on it. Sober, 22 years. Still in that character defect, I ain't going to tell nobody. But you guys did not leave me. I'm going to tell you at my lowest points, I lean into Alcoholics Anonymous. I lean into Alcoholics Anonymous. When me and my wife broke up, they took my house, and I went to stay at my buddy Stranger's house. And my wife went to stay at her sister's house. And the night, I've never felt failure like I felt in that 22nd year. I understood losing my family when I was drinking. I understood losing my house when I was drinking. I understood being on my mother's couch when I was drinking. But I'm 22 years sober. What am I doing? Getting divorced. What am I doing? Losing a house. What am I doing? Going broke. What am I doing? In sobriety. But my feet are trained. And I didn't hide. And you guys didn't shun me. You guys didn't say, we don't want to hear from you. You guys didn't say that, you know what, Ralph, the reason you my sponsor is because you got some money. You guys didn't say, you know what, Ralph, the reason you my sponsor is because you never hit hard times. You guys didn't say, Ralph, you know what? The reason we want you to come out and share your experience, strength, and hope is because you got some pretty stories to share. You didn't say none of that. You said what you've been saying from the beginning. Let us love you till you can love yourself. And you wrap your arms around me, and I floated on the fellowship. And like I told you, I go places. And it's people in this room. It's people sitting in this room right now. Sought me through the darkest of my dark. So you know me. You support me. You nurture me. You encourage me. You uplift me. You sustain me. What? The love of Alcoholics Anonymous. And the love for Alcoholics Anonymous, where else would I go? In my lowest low. I was in Europe. $32 in my pocket, and that was my net worth. And I was sitting with a member over there, and we were sitting, I think, in Birmingham or in London. We were sitting and talking, and I was saying, wow, what kind of God is this? I got $32 to my name. I'm traveling all over the world, and I'm laughing every day. You gave me a power. And more than you gave me a power, you sustain it with a face. I'm not the guy that can do it. Sister B, when I was 1 year sober, she said, God, me alone are not enough to keep me sober. I'm too shallow. Some of you guys can go, and you can go to yourself, and you can go in isolation, and you can go and get with God. I get jealous when you share that. I need to see you. I need to see Him through you. I get doubtful. I flatline. I get scared sometimes. But I go to a meeting and I get the witness testimony. And I go to a meeting and I do what I'm doing. I get to give you the witness testimony. I don't care how bleak it is. I don't care how dark it is. I don't care how low you get. I don't care how hopeless it seems to be. Franklin Williams, I was listening to a tape of his, and he was saying, I can run out of friends. I can run out of money. I can run out of hope. I can't run out of God. And I never run out of God since I've been connected with you good people in Alcoholics Anonymous. You make me better than I am. You make me want to be better than I am. When I get up here in front of you, I want to do something. I don't want to make Bob embarrassed. I don't want to embarrass Jimmy. I don't want to be, I don't want to let Tommy down. I don't want to let Peter down. I don't want to look bad for, and on the person, you make me better than I am. And part of that might feel like, and that's when you get to the 7th step, you guys, and it says, God, take away every single defect of character except in the one that's standing away. That one is a useful piece for me. When Hollis and Sharon come all the way out here and be like, you represent, no. I want to be the best representation of Alcoholics Anonymous, not Ralph White. Ralph White has his own problem, but I want to be the best representation because some might be the only big book somebody is reading. You ask us all the time to come up here and do something that we ain't qualified to do. And I always say it, Jimmy, you asking me to put in words something that you can't put in words. I can't put in words the love I have for Alcoholics Anonymous. I can't put it in. My mama's 91 years old, you guys. We almost lost her in 1985. She's still with us in 2021. We almost lost her when her boys were out there. 4 of them came to you guys. You do the math. I can't do it, But I'm one man. My friend Strange always used to talk about you cannot describe the taste of a banana. So what you ask us to do when you come out here is to put in words that for which there are no words. I always talk about the spiritual experience, and tonight I'm talking about the love I have for Alcoholics Anonymous. You can't describe the taste of a banana. What I've attempted to do tonight, I've tried to let you guys know what it tastes like when I bit into that banana, and I want to make it so tantalizing and so appealing that you want to get your own banana. My name is Ralph White. I am an alcoholic.